Folks, in my 20 years in the league, I've never seen anything like this. If you think you've seen all the off-season chaos, all the shocking moves, all the jaw-dropping rumors, brace yourselves, because what's happening right now is on another level. What I'm about to reveal could shake the entire NFL landscape, reconfigure the quarterback market, and set the Steelers on a path that most fans never saw coming. Trust me, I've been in the trenches, studying every film, every transaction, every whisper from inside the league, and what's brewing behind the scenes right now is absolutely unprecedented. I've got sources, intel, and whispers that point to something massive, and I promise what I'm about to tell you might blow your mind. But here's the kicker: the full story is still under wraps. There's a secret so big that the NFL brass is practically trembling, and only a few inside circles have the full picture. Now, I need you to do this. Hit that subscribe button, smash that like, and activate that notification bell. Because what I'm about to spill isn't just a rumor. It's a glimpse into the future, a puzzle piece of a plan that could redefine the Steelers' entire trajectory. If you're truly a hardcore NFL insider, if you crave the truth behind the scenes, then stay locked in because what I'm about to lay out will split the league wide open. And remember, you're not just watching some typical analysis. You're getting the inside scoop, the deep dive, the unfiltered truth, and yes, a theory so explosive that only the boldest fans will truly grasp its implications. So buckle up, because what's coming next will be one of the most shocking revelations you've ever heard about the Steelers and a certain quarterback who has been under the radar for months. This is not just another story. This is the story that could change everything. Now let's get into the details, because what I'm about to say hits deep into the core of what the Steelers are planning, and it ties directly into a name that's been whispered in NFL circles, Jameis Winston. But not just as a backup or a stopgap. No, what's brewing is a full-blown, high-stakes blockbuster trade that could flip the entire league on its head. First, a quick overview. As of January 26, 2026, Jameis Winston is with the New York Giants, under a modest 2-year deal worth up to $16 million. But make no mistake, his situation is a ticking time bomb. He's been mostly a backup this season, with only 3 appearances and 2 starts, filling in mostly due to injuries on the roster. He's 32 now, with a career that's been one roller coaster, flashes of brilliance, moments of chaos, and a prime example of a quarterback who's never truly tapped into his full potential. His arm. Still one of the strongest in the league, deep throws, laser accuracy when dialed in, and a mobility that's often underrated. But his turnovers, that's what keeps him in the what-could-have-been conversation. Here's where it gets interesting. Sources close to the Steelers have been talking about a huge shift, and whispers indicate that Pittsburgh's new head coach, Mike McCarthy, yes, the veteran who just took over the franchise, has a daring plan. He's got a desire, a calculated vision to finally push the quarterback position into a new era of dominance. And that's where Winston's name comes in. Why? Because all the data points to the fact that Pittsburgh isn't sold on their current options. Aaron Rodgers. Yes, the 4-time MVP is expected to return, if only because the Steelers have made it crystal clear they want to contend now. But do they truly believe Rodgers still has the juice for a full season of playoff football? Or is there a long-term plan in motion, a move that involves a quarterback with raw talent, a fire that can be reignited, and someone with the potential to be a franchise changer? That's where Winston steps into the picture. And folks, I've studied the film. Let me tell you, if you look at Jameis Winston's highlight reels from 2019, when he threw for over 5,000 yards, you see a quarterback who can dissect defenses, make pinpoint throws, and turn a game on a dime. His deep ball accuracy remains elite. Remember the 70-yard bomb against the Falcons, or that game-winning throw in 2020. The raw arm talent is undeniable. But what's changed in 2026? A lot of insiders say that under McCarthy's system, which emphasizes quick reads and high-percentage throws, Winston might finally find a system that suits his strengths. He's been maligned for turnover issues, but if you watch the film carefully, it's clear that many of those picks came from trying to force plays, trying to be the hero. With a stable environment and a coaching staff that's willing to develop him, Winston's ceiling has never been higher. Now let's dive into the core of the film. Winston's mechanics, when he's in rhythm, are textbook perfect. His footwork, release, and confidence in the pocket are notable. When he's at his best, he hits receivers in stride, navigates pressure with poise, and makes throws that most quarterbacks dream of. His decision-making, though, has been a concern, still inconsistent, still prone to turnovers. But in the right offense, in a situation where he's not expected to carry the entire team, his upside skyrockets. Plus, he's shown flashes of leadership, resilience, and a desire to finally put the doubters behind him. So how does this tie into the Steelers? Well, think about it. Pittsburgh's current roster with Pat Freiermuth, a developing offensive line, and a defense that's still among the best in the league, needs that extra spark, a quarterback who can elevate the team without demanding a complete rebuild. Winston in the right scheme? That's exactly what they're looking for. It's a risk, yes, but the kind of risk that could pay off big time. Now let's break down the trade mechanics because this isn't your typical, here's a second-round pick and some cash deal. No, this is a calculated maneuver, one that involves a series of trades, cap gymnastics, and strategic moves. First, the Giants are unlikely to give Winston away for free, especially after bringing him in just last year. I've heard whispers of negotiations, perhaps a mid-round pick, maybe a 2026 third or fourth, and a conditional future pick based on Winston's performance. The Giants, looking to free cap space and draft capital, may see this as a win-win. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh's front office under Omar Khan is known for their savvy moves, possibly packaging a couple of draft picks, including their early second-rounder to entice the Giants. Cap-wise, Winston's current deal with the Giants is manageable. He's earning about $8 million this season with bonuses that could push it higher. The Steelers, currently with some room under the cap, could structure a trade to absorb Winston's salary, especially if they include an extension or a new deal in negotiations. Remember, the Steelers are always thinking long-term. They might even extend Winston for a year or two, anchoring themselves with a veteran who's hungry to prove himself again. This kind of move is complex, but in the NFL today, it's all about the chess match. Who trades what, who eats what cap hit, and who ends up winning. And here's where it gets even juicier. Sources say the Steelers see Winston as an underdog with a chip on his shoulder. They believe he can be the perfect bridge for a team in transition, especially with the new coaching staff hungry for an identity. Winston's personality, his competitive fire, these are traits that resonate with Pittsburgh's culture. And remember, the Steelers' history is littered with quarterback stories of redemption, Cordell Stewart, Cordell Jones, even Ben Roethlisberger's late career resurgence. Now let's evaluate the fit. Pittsburgh runs a system similar to what Winston thrived in at Florida State, aggressive, vertical passing, heavy play action. The offensive line is solid but not elite, which means Winston's ability to extend plays could be a game changer. And with the weapons they have, Pat Freiermuth, George Pickens, and a developing offense, this move could ignite the entire offense. Worst-case scenario, Winston struggles with turnovers again and the team regresses, but best case, he becomes the spark that propels the Steelers back into AFC dominance, finally giving them stability at the most critical position. And here's the kicker, the timeline. If this deal goes down, expect murmurs to shift quickly. The Steelers might keep their intentions under wraps, but insiders believe the groundwork is being laid. The NFL Combine, free agency, and the draft season are all stages for this grand spectacle. Watch closely. Rumors of Winston's availability are only the tip of the iceberg. Underneath, a master plan is unfolding, one that could redefine the Steelers' future and reshape Winston's career in ways nobody anticipated. Now, my professional opinion. This is a gamble, but it's precisely the kind of bold, daring move the Steelers need. They're at a crossroads, and Winston represents that wild card, a player with undeniable talent, unlocked only by the right system and environment. If Omar Khan and Mike McCarthy pull this off, it's a game changer. We're talking about a franchise that's been patient for decades, finally making a move that says, we're in it to win it now. Keep your eyes peeled. The NFL is shifting, and the Steelers are about to make one of the boldest moves in recent history. Because in football, as in life, the biggest risks often lead to the greatest rewards. And right now, in this moment, that risk involves Winston, ready to rise or to fall. Are you ready to see history written? Because what comes next could be legendary.